Hello?
Shukura,
Can
can
you
you
hear
please
me?
go ahead and display about win?
Okay,
Let
ma.
Shukura is here to display about win. Yeah.
Please go ahead. Can we have some volume to it, please? Hmm.
Ambassador, you have to read it. There's no volume. You have to read it.
Oh, okay. So about women in mining in Nigeria. Women in Mining Nigeria, also known as Women, is a leading non-profit organization dedicated to advancing gender equality and empowering women across all levels of the Nigerian mineral exploration and mining sector. With a robust network of over 5,000 members spanning 29 states of the Federation, we're a powerful face, we're a powerful force driving positive change throughout the nation. We are committed to we are committed to creating a more inclusive and equitable mining industry where women have equal opportunities to thrive and contribute their valuable skills and expertise. We achieve this through a multifaceted approach that includes capacity building programs, advocacy initiatives, mentorship opportunities, and networking events, empowering women with the knowledge, skills, and connection they need to succeed in the mining sector. The next page, please. Our vision and mission. The vision of women in mining, empowering women, transforming the mining industry to respect the rights of all. Our mission, our mission is to foster a supportive community that inspires innovation, sustainability, and excellence, driving positive change for women and the mining sector as a whole. Next page. Gender mainstreaming. Some notable projects. These include gender mainstreaming, which promotes gender justice in the solid minerals sector through research, capacity building for women, artisanal miners, policy dialogues with over 1,000 women empowered so far. Girls for Mining. The G4M project engages young girls to pursue careers in STEM, currently active in about 10 states of the Federation where we have membership. Minds to Mind. This project aims to remove children from the mine sites and reintegrate them into schools. GGCE, the Lagos Gold and Gemstone Exhibition and Conference, a proud subsidiary of Many Mining, is an annual event dedicated to celebrating and promoting the rich heritage of gold and gemstone mining in Nigeria. Next page, please. The next page. About Wimti. This is the 56th edition of our monthly program, Women in Mining Training Institute. This is a training designed for women in mining Nigeria. It was initiated to provide a broad range of knowledge and education on the salient issues in the mining sector, especially those bordering on mining business and economics, methods and practices, gender justice, poverty and sustainability. It holds every third Thursday of the month at 4 p.m. West African time, and it's online through Zoom and YouTube. So we invite you to get involved. Register to be a member. That's the number one thing. Register, pay your dues, and be a member. Or you can be a volunteer. Volunteer your time, your resources, your knowledge, your skills to help grow the sector. Or you may wish to be a financial donor, donating in cash or kind to help the advocacy program. Or you can also be a partner. Whichever way you choose, we are looking forward to your joining us. Hand in hand, we'll move Women in Mining forward. Thank you for your attention and welcome to today's program, which is the 56th edition of the Wimti classes. Today's topic is digitalization for women in mining, building visibility, credibility, and profit in the digital economy. As you're all aware, digital technology is taking over from manual technology. We have the drones now doing the investigation in mining sites and other forms of digitalization in reports writing and other aspects of the mining sector. It will be very imperative for us not to be left behind in this modern technology. With AI taking over the space, we can't afford to be left behind. We need to know what is happening, know how to understanding and how to apply it. So this program today's training is very apt, and I'm sure we shall all be well educated through our speaker for today. Our speaker is Emmanuel Olajide, a book project consultant, writing coach, content marketing expert, and ghostwriter dedicated to raising value-driven leaders. Popularly known as the King of Value, he empowers individuals and brands through strategic content, writing, and mentorship. Emmanuel Olajide is a HubSpot certified content marketer. He has trained over 800 writers globally, worked with leading organizations, and helped professionals turn their ideas into impactful books. He's the founder of the Recalibration Community and the author of 6 books. Through his program, he has, through his programs and initiatives, Emmanuel has impacted over 30,000 people across writing, publishing, leadership, and personal development. Emmanuel Olajide is a graduate of geology from the Federal University of Technology, Minna, and he's been building his brand since March 2022. So you can see how effective he has been in this aspect. He's also a geologist, so he's aware of what we are doing in this sector, being a part of it. So I'd like to invite Emmanuel Olajide. So please take the floor and let us have your presentation. Thank you very much.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
I want to confirm if you can hear me. Good evening, ma'am.
I can hear you.
Okay, thank you so much. I want to really appreciate the women in mining for this great opportunity given to me to come share my knowledge with professionals and industry experts within the limited time I've been given. I want to sincerely appreciate the president, the team, and everyone on this call. and I can guarantee you that it's going to be an impactful session together tonight. So my duty tonight, this evening, is just very simple. I'm just going to give you an overview of how we can actually maximize the digital world and incorporate it into the works we're doing in the mining sector, in the mineral sector as a whole. So I'll be sharing my slides and we're going to get right into the business of the day. Okay, please can you grant me the request to share my slide? Already sent a request.
You can go ahead, sir.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Okay, thank you. Now, I want to confirm if we can all see my slide now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, we can see the full screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. So let's just get right into it. So our topic this evening is digitization for women in mining, building visibility, credibility, and profit in the digital economy. So now the content of my presentation is to first introduce us to what digitization means and make us to understand the trend and the shift in traditional industries, how we can actually brand ourselves as professionals on in the digital world, the ethics, because there are rules, there are do's and there are don'ts that you must abide by as a professional, and most especially because of the delicacy of the industry that we find ourselves, and because of what we call digital footprints. There's something that it's always said that the digital internet does not forget. So anything that you do has the ability of either progressing you or digressing you or retrogressing you. So, and we also talk about monetization, monetizing knowledge digitally, how we can actually turn our experiences, because quite a number of us may be um, salary earners, and those of us that are not salary earners, maybe you have your business, and majority of the finances or your income is gotten from your transaction physically. But the vast opportunity of income that you can leverage on the digital space, then I will have you do a 30-day digital activation plan to get you started. Then I will just end it with my final thoughts. So if you are ready for this evening session, I want you to type in the comment section, digital shift, digital shift. So if you're ready for that, I love it when I'm teaching and it is very, very engaging, because this I've made it very simple and practical. So I would need active participation. Okay, let's go right in. So one thing we must understand is that there's been a lot of changes, shifts in mining. So mining is no longer just about heavy machinery and field work. It is about data and connectivity. Now, the world has now moved beyond just the things we do at the back end, but about what we project on the social media. So one thing you must understand is that you can be doing a great work, amazing work, but if everything that you're doing is just known within the confines of your environment, there's limitation to how far you can go and the level of success that you can attain. Also, you should also understand that there's something we call digital authority. Now, in times past, once you are good at your work, once you are proficient at your place of work, then that's enough. But no, the world has changed. There's something we call digital authority, and that's why you see that every high-flying brand, CEOs now have their digital presence. Why? Because what? There's something we call digital authority. So just go and check the top 10 billionaires in Nigeria, in over the world. You'll see that their company has digital footprints, so that if you go on Google and search about them, you will find enough details about who they are and what they do. And you will observe that not only about the company, even they themselves has digital footprints online. They are building authority online. And one thing you must understand that someone like Elon Musk, with just a single tweet, is changing things. Trump, with just a single tweet, is changing things. These are people that back in those days, they just depended on what they were doing physically. But because the world is evolving from physical activity into online digital activity, so we must also evolve if we are going to take advantage of the vast opportunities available for us. Also, we must understand that visibility influences opportunity. See, I wrote something on this slide and I want you to read it carefully. The most competent person doesn't always get the role. The most visible and competent one does. Visibility is your new strategic leverage. So you can be very good, you can be very proficient, but if nobody knows you, you are not going to get those opportunities. So maybe you are doing some advocacy, you are into having an NGO, you are into maybe stakeholder engagement, community engagement, you're able to solve some problems in your vicinity, all around you, and maybe you're able to take some girls that are being involved, young girls that are involved in mining activities, in child labor, and you're able to take them out of the mining site and put them back into school to get access to quality education. If you don't share those things online, nobody is going to know about this. And one thing you must also understand is that if you are trying to attract opportunity, it could be funding, it could be grants for your NGO, for your organization. It could even be that you are trying to poach some investors. One of the things that they are going to do, I'm going to talk about it later on, is to go and check what have you done? What have you been posting? So when they're able to see your digital footprint, it's going to inform them whether what you're saying is true or it is false. So it is no longer enough for you to say, when I go out, I snap the pictures. Your pictures that you snapped during your activity should not just stay in your folder. You should put them on your social media handles, on your website, so that people can be able to get to see those things. So the question I want to ask us now is that if someone searches your name online today, what do they see? So a simple assignment, you can just take your phone and go on Google and just type your name. I know quite a number of us are very accomplished. We are doing a lot in our industry. But just take your phone and just type on Google your name and check the search results that you're going to get from Google. If what you are getting from Google does not summarize what you have been doing, it means that you have not taken digitization seriously and you are missing out on a lot of opportunities. So your digital identity is your silent pitch. I don't know how many of us have applied for opportunities, and we just observe that if you have LinkedIn, you observe that some people were just coming, you were seeing new faces, checking your profile. LinkedIn always do that you just hear this person viewed your profile, this person viewed your profile, this person. What they are doing is to confirm whatsoever you wrote in your application, whether it is true or it is false. So what if you never wrote anything? What if you never shared anything? You will lose out on those opportunities. So it is no longer about what you wrote in the document, but what they can find on the digital space. Now, The digital shift in traditional industries, I've summed it up in 4 different ways. ESG, transparency. So digital reporting on environmental, social, and governance metrics is now a global standard. So it is now a compulsory thing that you need to do. You need to carry out ESG reporting. I think last year I did a course on this. Another thing is investor relations. Capital follows clarity. So if you're able to communicate adequately, correctly, articulately with your investor, they are going to do their own private search also. And if what you said does not correlate with what you said during the physical pitch, there's high tendency that you're going to miss out on those opportunities. Not only that, we have thought leadership. So executives in mining are expected to provide insight that shape the industry narrative online. One of the things that we don't get really is that oftentimes we complain that our mining industry is not growing. There are a lot of opportunities that is, we are not attracting them, and we have a lot of complaints. And why that is true. But the major problem is that we are not shaping things. We are not creating a narrative that we want people to believe in. We are not shaping the culture. And why are we not able to do that? Because we are silent. We are not giving voices to the things that we want it to be changed. And I can tell you that the easiest place that you can give voice to whatsoever you're doing is on the digital space. So don't sleep on it. Another thing is industry influence. If you want to influence policy, community relations, you can do that through the things you're doing online, through your presence. If you have considerable number of followers, people that listen to you, if you want them to carry out just with Twitter hashtag, and many of us remember what happened in 2020, this EndSARS protest. How did it all begin? It began with tweets on Twitter, which later turned to what? A hashtag that was trending. And before you know, everywhere was set on fire. That's the power of the digital space. At many instances, at many scenarios, we see people that their life was transformed because an influencer posted about them. Young people, accomplished people, even older generations, they got access to diverse opportunities because someone of influence made a post about them, talked about them, recommended them. The question I have for us today is, what have we been doing with our visibility? Do we even have the influence to shake things? I was making a research last year and I realized that we have more than 40 solid minerals. But unfortunately, our solid minerals contribute less than 5% to GDP. That's so crazy. If we have more than 40 solid minerals and all our solid minerals is contributing less than 5% to our GDP, then we need to wake up and do things right and influence things. And we don't need to have money to begin. I'm telling you, we can start with what we have. There's always something in our hands. And one thing that we must understand is that the internet space, the digital space, has given us equal leverage, depending on how you are able to maximize it. Let me move ahead. Now, if you are invisible, these are the costs. So if you become visible, there are some opportunities that you're going to attract. But if you decide to be invisible, if you decide that you want to hide under the cubicle, under your drawer, you just want to hide in the forest in your company, understand that there is a cost that you're already paying for your invisibility. And the first one is what? Misspeaking opportunities. Global stages go to those they can find and verify. I know our president has spoken on different global stages. apart from the great work and amazing things that she's doing, she has done in times past, and she's still doing, one of the things that has enabled her to attract these opportunities is that she has visibility. You see our president posting on LinkedIn. She goes for conference, she will post it. I think when they were preparing for GGCE, when she went to meet the minister, she posted it on her LinkedIn. When the conference was over, she posted about it. And that will continue to help her to attract many opportunities, missed board roles too, limited global reach, reduced professional leverage. These are things that we are constantly missing, even though we are unaware. And we begin to wonder, we begin to think, these people that are speaking on these stages, these people that are having this influence, they are not better off than me. But why am I not getting it? This is one of the reasons, because you have not taken your digital footprint, your digital activity seriously. You feel that it is a waste of time. No, it isn't a waste of time. And I will be proving it to us this evening. So when we're talking about we maximizing our digitization, what does it mean really? It is about branding, personal branding. And when we talk about personal branding, it is about three things: what people associate with your name, the problem you are trusted to solve, and building your signature authority. So personal branding is an intentional effort to create a perception in the mind of all your audience or people. So when your name comes to the mind of people, what do they associate your name with? Using our president for another example, you know that our president has formerly served as House of Rep member. But I can tell you that if anybody talks about our president, the first thing that will come to mind is that what? She's an authority in the mining sector. It is not our political career that is going to come first. Why? Because that's what she has constantly branded herself as. So the question I'm going to ask us is that when our name is mentioned in rooms, what is our name associated as? What is the definition that we can give to our name? Because you don't have the authority to tell people that this is who you are, but you can intentionally calibrate who you want to be perceived as. And when you do it consistently, people are going to identify you as that person. So the problems you are trusted to solve. So how do you calibrate that? Maybe constantly you are fighting for something. For instance, one of the things this association does is to fight for the rights of women. So by hosting events consistently about the women in mining, they are being positioned as a capable organization to solve that problem. So for instance, the things that you consistently post about is telling people these are the solutions that you can actually bring. Some of us, if you check our social media page, there's nothing, it's very blank. And some of us, the only thing we post is to just reshare posts. You saw one by Ninja Gist, you share it on your page. You saw another one about the recent thing that happened yesterday that our president, fell off. Is it yesterday or 2 days ago? You have shared it on your post. Different things. A pastor is preaching, you share it. This one, you share it. This one, you share it. You share it. And people don't even know what exactly you stand for. It means that you are mixing a whole lot of things and people can't even identify you as this. So people are confused. Let's move on. So why must we be visible? The first reason is what? Reason is that what? Representation shapes narrative. If you don't tell your story, the industry narrative excludes you. So we should know that we should push ourselves then so that we can control the narrative. If things is going to change, if things is going to turn for the better,
you can always update that on your file. You update your course and you start your foundational learning in my learning part on your parents' dashboard.
Is someone saying something?
Please, can we mute? Can we mute, please? Shukura, check your something, please mute.
Okay, thank
Go
you,
on,
ma'am.
Emmanuel.
Yes, ma'am. So if you want to change narratives, so let's take, for instance, what are the problems that we are facing in the mineral sector? Most pertinent to women. If you want to change the perception that women have in the mining sector, then we must push ourselves there. The people that are leading the industry are the people that are taking it upon themselves to push themselves out there and don't allow what is happening to determine what happens to them. You see, one thing we must understand in life is that is either life happens to you or you happen to life. So when life happens to you, you are at a disadvantaged position. If you happen to life, it means that you have control over your life. And one thing you must understand that the most powerful thing that God gave to us is choice. So we can choose whether we will allow people to frame us or we will frame people. For instance, I wouldn't want to go deep into politics, right? But one thing you must understand is that when a politician wants to start their campaign or they want to contest, one of the things they begin to do is to shape narrative, is to begin to talk about the good things that they have done, their achievements. They begin to push it out so that people will have a different perspective about them. So what are the narratives that we are pushing out? Let me give an example. Was it last year? Yes, last year. It was later revealed that, I think, was it CNN, right? Trump gave a speech during his campaign, and one thing that CNN did was that they cut a part of the clip, then they moved to another part, they cut another part, and they put it together and they started pushing it. What they did was to shape narrative, and that thing trended on the internet, and it almost affected the winning of Trump in the last election in US. Such that when the truth finally came into the spotlight, the CEO had to resign. But what did they do? They successfully shaped a narrative. So the question is, are we women in mining shaping the narrative in the mining sector, or we have allowed it to the men who is dominating to continue to shape narrative? That's the question we must ask ourselves, and we must answer the question. And if we are going to take authority and shape the narrative, then we must become visible. No other magic, no other way about it. Another thing is intentional authority. Authority is not given, it is claimed through visible expertise. One thing you must understand is that you can be very, very experienced. You can have great expertise. You're a very good person, you have a good track record, but you may still not be referred to as an authority in your niche. And someone lower than you will get the job and will employ you to do the job. I believe it has happened over time. Many of us have experienced this, that the person that they gave the contract to does not even know where to turn it to, does not even know where to start. So the person gets the contract, will bring it to you and dump it on you and say, Oh yeah, go and do it. And you will be paid in meager, little percentage of the money. So what you are doing is that instead of you to sit on the table and dine, you are eating from the crumbs that fall off the table. Why? Because you have not built authority intentionally. Mark the word, intentionally. The problem is not saying you want to become an authority. Are you doing the things that will make you turn you to an authority? Are you intentionally doing it? Are you doing that? Another thing is visibility creates access. Doors open for those whose reputation precedes them. Regardless of how big you are, if you don't have the key to the room, you can't access the room. You can pray all you can. You can exert a lot of force and energy. And even if you eventually break into the room, you'll be arrested for criminality. But if you have the key to the room, you just go there. In fact, technology has made things easier. Thumbprints. Just take your thumb and press it. And you are in the room without stress. So many of the opportunities that we are praying for cannot come to us because we have not positioned ourselves for those opportunities. Many of the rooms that we dream of entering, we can't enter into those rooms because nobody in that room even knows us. And even peradventure, if they recommend us to enter into that room, if they go and search about us, they will find nothing. I will keep complaining that we are missing out on opportunities. Opportunities will not come and knock at your door. You have to go out and search for those opportunities, most especially because of the industry that you found yourself. And one thing you must understand is that because the world now understands the disadvantage the female gender has been placed in, they are beginning to calibrate and adjust and shift to create room for you. But if they don't know anything about you, how will they assess you? There's something we call gender equality, SDG goals, right? Each gender is equal. But are we even integrating it in the things that we are doing? How many of us even clearly understand what this SDG is? And we are constantly infusing it in the things we are doing. That's it. Another one is inspiring generations. I always say something, I say, if your success ends with you, then you are a great failure. You have not become a success until you have reproduced successors. Now, I'm not saying successor, successors. The reason why many of us are struggling is because we didn't have people to make room for us, to pave the way for us. So we have to fight tooth and nail to be able to access these opportunities. Do you also want the coming generations to have to struggle the way you did? Then if you want to change the narrative, then you have to take your digital imprints, footprints, your digital space importance. Because it is true that you can inspire the coming generation. You can make them to believe in their dream. You can embody possibility and inspire possibilities. You can tell them that even though it was not easy, I broke through. I can write a post and it's going to inspire a girl sitting in one remote area to not give up on his dream. Let me give us an example. When I was in camp, I did 2 debates, NYC camp, and I was the first prize winner in the first one. I was the 3rd prize winner in the second one. Do you know what happened? Afterwards, I've produced 2 first prize winners in debates in NYC. Yesterday, I was still on calls with people that are currently serving. I wrote a book. The book is not here. I could have just showed us to inspire them about the possibilities that it is inherent during your service here. That's what we call inspiring future generations. And you don't even need to have it all figured out. One thing you must understand is that your current situation is someone's dream. Your current reality is someone's prayer point. You are a step ahead of someone. And if you're a step ahead of someone, it means that someone else wants to climb the step that you have climbed. So why not show them how to climb it? So we can't afford to be silent. It is often said that a closed mouth is a closed destiny. Our destiny requires us to go out there and be visible. Don't let that book die inside of you unwritten. Don't let that vision die inside of you unfulfilled. Miles Monroe often said in his book that the richest place is the what? Is the cemetery, because there are many books unwritten, many songs unsung, many arts, drawings that have not been drawn. They died with those things. Many experiences. Why would you allow it to just die? The challenges you faced, the problem you faced, and you overcame, it is not just for you. It is for you to be able to guide the future generations to know how to navigate it. Maybe you fell in the pit, in the ditch while you were walking. It is for you to shine the light and ensure that they don't fall into that ditch while they are also joining. So let's inspire the future generations. Now, even though you want to be visible, you must understand that you can't do everything. There's something we call authority zone. What exactly do you want to be known for on the digital space? If you don't define what you want to be associated with, then no opportunity, you are not going to access any opportunity. And the mining space is very wide, but I just try to pick 8 different niches. Okay, you want to talk about environmental compliance, mineral exploration, safety leadership, ESG governance, community relations, mining finance, operational excellence, policy advocacy, girl child, STEM. Just determine which one exactly do I want to push myself, so that when people mention my name, this is what I will be associated with. During the GGCE conference, one of the participants, while she was registering, one of the volunteers said she knows her. And you know, the funny thing is that the girl now said, I've been seeing your videos online. I've been what? Seeing your videos online. And you know the funny thing? The next thing I did while I was there, I didn't even tell her. I went to go and search online that who is this woman? And I realized that she didn't even study geoscience. She's a lawyer. But because she has branded herself, pushed herself consistently out there, she's now an authority in the mining sector. She was one of the panelists during the mining week last year in Abuja. She works with one of the governments in Southwest. Now, this is someone that didn't even read geology, but she positioned herself as an authority on the online space, and she is getting numerous opportunities. Talk more of us that we spent 4 years in university. We went for masters, we went for PhD, we did a lot of short courses, yet no one knows us, and we are complaining that it is people that didn't even study the course that are getting the opportunity. This pattern will continue to repeat itself because nobody knows us in the room. Nobody. One thing we must understand is that if we can command influence, you will not look for opportunities. It is opportunities that will start looking for you. But you can't be everything to everyone. You have to define exactly what you want to represent. Where do you show up? The major platform that you need to show up as a professional is on LinkedIn. That's the professional landscape. That's where things happen. However, you can also support it with Instagram, with Twitter. So on LinkedIn, you share insights. I will still talk about the things we can share there, right? But on Instagram, you share stories, corporate storytelling, behind the scenes of mining life. Maybe your mining sites. What are the things happening there? This is the things that guarantees believability. There is low trust. One of the problems in the mining sector is that there is low trust. A lot of people are duping others. Investors want to come, but they don't believe. One of the problems is what? Insecurity. But when they see you on your mining site, how the operations is going, what you are doing each day, each morning, how you are converting it, oh, you are polishing your gemstone, oh, you are converting it, oh, they will not be able to know that this is real gold, this is real petals, this is tourmaline, oh, this is the making process. So if I know the making process, I know the process, and I see the behind the scene, I will be able to believe you. That's how it works. And many of us will find ourselves doing that for other people's, the online business owners. We want to buy things online. We want to check the reviews. We want to check how the person made it. We want to check how long this person has been posting, how long this person has been into this process. But we forget that we too, we are business owners because we're in the mining sector, in quotes. We feel that we too, we cannot take our business online and attract the necessary investors and necessary partnership. That's not true. We must wake up and do something about this. So what should you post? I've written, I believe you're going to get access to this slide so that I wouldn't take too much time because my time is already running out. Lesson from projects, policy reflections, career growth, industry insights, leadership experiences, site highlights. I've talked about these things a little bit. When you get the slides, you can go over them. The pillars of strong content. So when you're creating content, 40% of your content should be about your experiences. 35% should be about insights, and 25% should be about value. Digital ethics in mining. Visibility without ethics is a liability. The way the online space can actually elevate your career, it can also bring down your career within a twinkling of an eye. If you don't abide by these ethics that we'll be sharing with you. So there's something we call confidentiality and NDAs checklists. I believe you already know about this. In fact, you have been doing this before I even started. So what are the questions you need to ask yourself before you post? Is it confidential or proprietary information? Now, never share trade secrets or internal blueprints. That thing should not be found on your social pages or on the digital space. You can be sued for that. Does the content belong to me or my employer? There's something we call intellectual property. If it is not your personal property, content, idea, please don't share it. Is it client sensitive or site sensitive? Avoid identifying specific location without approval. Oh, I'm currently at this location. That's how bandits located you. That's how they were able to track you using the GPS. Am I authorized to share this narrative aligned with corporate communication policies? Meaning that there are some things, there are some news that it is the edge that can only share. You that you are still, growing, you are still at the lower rank or in the middle rank in your organization are not permitted to share those things. Please and please desist from sharing those information. The next thing is professional representation. Understand that there is a difference between your professional life, your personal life, and your company. So when you are sharing things, clarify, this is my personal opinion. This is company's opinion. So anything, you must always tell them, oh, this is my own perspectives. That's why you often see that there's disclaimers. This is my perspective. It does not represent the perspective of so. Also, professional standards. Avoid internal criticism online. Don't be pushed because something is trending. You now begin to write about it, talk about it, the bad things, and we can never tell where we're going to work in the next few years of our life. And oftentimes, most organizations go back and check it. How many of us know PayPal? PayPal. Okay, many of us might not know it, but is it PayPal or Paystack? Paystack rather. If you are even doing a lot of online registrations, payments in Nigeria, you will have used Paystack multiple times, right? I will use 2 examples. You observe that because of what the co-founder Estra Olubi was posting in times past, people went to go and check his record, and because of that thing, that guy has been sacked from that company, a company that he built with a fellow person. Another example was last year. Elon Musk supported Trump during the campaign in US, right? And he was very vocal about it. But how many of us observed that when there was a fallout between Elon Musk and Trump, the stock of Tesla began to plunge? How many of us observed that Tesla stock began to plunge little by little, because he was criticizing the government of the day. And regardless of whether you're a billionaire or you're a millionaire, the government can just enact a policy and it will change the direction of things. That's one thing you must understand. But immediately, those guys were able to settle their rifts, and they are no longer engaging in battles. You can see that his net worth has begun to rise again, and I think it is over 700 billion or something. I can't remember the exact figure. Now, also avoid unverified industry claims. Before you post anything, ensure that it has been verified, not a rumor, because it can come back and hurt you. So a question you must ask is that in the next 5 years, before you post anything, before you publish it, in the next 5 years that I would have grown, I may be looking for more opportunities. Will I be proud of the things that I am posting? Not only that, the things I'm about, what I'm about to post open the door for me in the next 5 years of my life, or shut the door against me? This is an important question that we must answer. It is not just about it's not just about what's it called now? About sharing your mind. It's not just about saying, it is a free space, I can just say anything that I want, right? No. You must define what exactly. And say, okay, in the next 5 years, will this thing lead to my career progression or regression? Now, let's continue. Your expertise is intellectual capital. It could be field experience, technical knowledge, compliance, navigation, leadership mastery, whatever it is. These are what? Your expertise. So you can package those things, and I will talk about it. And that's what leads us to monetizing knowledge digitally. So there are different ways you can actually earn, because you have this field experience, compliance, navigation, technical knowledge, leadership mastery. These things can be packaged and turned into something that will create another source of income for you. So, for you to gain financial dependence, you must have 3 sources of income. Primarily, you have the primary source of income, we have the secondary source of income, and we have the tertiary source of income. So primary income is that thing that you have to constantly engage in it before you gain money. For the secondary, to gain income for the secondary source, it means that maybe you can create that thing and it continue to give you money without your active continuous participation. Then we now have the tertiary one, whereby whether it's just like you have put your money in somewhere and it continues to grow, maybe in real estate or in stocks, etc. Right? So, for instance, you can monetize your knowledge by what? Paid speakings. You know that they paid thousands of dollars for some people to just come and speak on a stage. For example, Vusi Tempekwayo. It's not cheap. I think he's even the highest paid public speaker in the whole of Africa. He's a businessman or a professional public speaker. And it doesn't have to be complicated. You can share your experiences, all right? This is one of the things I also do, paid speaking engagements. Like the way I've come to train here, if it were another place, it will pay me for this. Industry workshops, right? You can organize a training. Maybe you know this is the process of getting this thing done. You can organize a workshop, can even be online workshop, and you just teach people. Many people are waiting to pay for your knowledge if only you are willing to share it. Online master classes, that's another thing you can do. Advisory roles, that's another thing you can do. So board and advisory positioning, selection committees, research online presence. Digital authority increases your trust, your credibility, and your visibility. It is very, very important. Now, in closing, your digital presence is your silent proposer. When opportunities searches, will it find you? This is a question that every one of us must answer. If someone is searching for who to bless, who to recommend, and your name is mentioned, and they go online to search, what will they see? Is it that they will see nothing, or what they see is going to hamper your career, or is going to make them to recommend you for opportunities? So 30-day activation, digital activation plan. Week one, optimize your LinkedIn profile. I don't have the time to begin to talk about all these things. When you have the slides, you can go over it. And final thoughts. Digitization is not about becoming an influencer. It is about becoming influential. There's a difference between an influencer and influential. Your expertise must travel beyond the mind size. Thank you so much, everyone, for having me this evening. You can connect with me. That's my email, my number, and my social media handles. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Emmanuel Olajide, for this very, very interesting topic and very, very relevant to where we are today. As we all know, the mining industry is evolving beyond physical operations into a digitally influenced ecosystem where visibility, perception, and authority significantly impact professional growth and business opportunities. In today's global landscape, investors, partners, policymakers, and board committees increasingly rely on digital footprints to assess credibility and leadership. We can see the guidelines that he has played for us. The importance of your LinkedIn page, social media, is no longer a matter of carrying your CV. It's a matter of how are you seen and how visible are you. So at this point, I'd like to open the floor for comments, questions. Please raise your hand. Let us have your input to tonight's discussion. The floor is open, please. Hello. Anyway, I'd like to acknowledge the person that Mr. Williams Isaac that sent a message a chart that's like the training and masterclass held by Gold and Gemstone Conference, highly notable. We use this opportunity every year during the Gold and Gemstone Conference to hold master classes for those who are interested in the value chain, gold and gemstone production, jewelry production. And this year, or rather last year, we actually had someone, an international jeweler that came all the way from South Africa to teach the classes. And for the first time, we actually had equipment on ground with the training facilities. So the students, the trainees last year were able to see how the machines were operated and the end product from it. So this year, we're going to have another one. So please take note that it's something that's held every year in November. This year is going to be held in Lagos. So you can start making yourselves available by booking your seats and making your reservations in advance. You can go to the website, GGCE, Gold and Gemstone website. We're also on Instagram and YouTube. So you can follow us either way and sign in for the masterclass later this year. Hello.
Yeah,
I'm surprised that
my
no
hands
one is
are up.
talking.
My hands are up.
Okay.
Yeah, my
Okay,
hands
please,
are
I
up.
didn't see it. Please go ahead, madam.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Emmanuel, for your presentation. So honestly, silence is golden, and I can see the value. And thank God, that for us, we'll see the significance and importance of the younger generation. In fact, what I always tell the older generation is that the younger generation are smarter because they have one thing as an advantage going for them, the digital space. And since the world is now operated under the digital space, you find out that because they are probably likely to know more and how to manipulate it more than us, they are ahead of us. We could have the head knowledge, but they have the digital manipulation technology. So once again, I want to say thank you. It's unfortunate that most of the people who should be here, that's the women who lag behind, according to statistics in digital knowledge, are not often at the table. But I want to tell those of us here that one thing he said, which I do it, but I didn't know, is the digital identity. Your digital space, your digital exposure, he said, is our digital identity. Yes, if you Google Wikipedia, you find my name come up, but those things I was just doing, I didn't even know the importance. So I want to say thank you for that. And I know you made a huge sacrifice, coming to take this lecture. We again want to say thank you on this. And I honestly advise everybody. The truth is bitter because if you look at the global north now, and we are getting there in Nigeria, scammers. If you see, in fact, government had to employ people to start taking their older ones through because everything is digitalized. And the old women who are extremely old, they live so long there to 90 something and co, who cannot flow or who don't have children. The government organized something like social workers who go around to help them because they found out that scammers. And if you look at the scammers they caught here, especially those from Nigeria, we can see that their confession, they always scam the elderly. So if you don't learn ordinarily now, you will learn by force. You will learn in pains. And for those of us in business doing one thing or the other, we know those of us that are digitally active. Mrs. Olushola Olani is one of them, very digital active. Our chairperson, of whom I'm very proud of, Mrs. Amina Shijuade, especially, we all have our areas of specialty. I'm not very popular on Twitter, but Amina Shijuade is very, very strong on Twitter. You understand? Which I think, so we should identify where, even if you cannot master everything. I'm not too, for example, Instagram is not my top too because of too many photographs and things like that. But you can hear today he said something, especially for storytelling. For Twitter, it's mainly facts. You want to disseminate facts, just facts. For LinkedIn, you want to bring out your professionalism. You want people to know you have an idea on this. So we should. Don't see it as, oh, I'm supporting somebody. No, I'm making comments on what somebody has written. In the process of making comments, especially constantly on a particular subject, you are equally joining that community. So don't think, oh, no, it's I'm helping that person, I'm popularizing that person. No, you are equally building up your own space. You are building up your own block. So I want to use this opportunity to call out on us, because for the first 2 or 3 months of this year, digitalization and AI, because we graduate gradually, we will get into AI. We see impossible today. For instance, something is trending right now in Nigeria. That's Tonto Dike and the husband. But you will see all manner of representation, because that's what is trending. The bloggers want to eat. So they must come up with different stories, come up with different pictures, you understand, that you'll be interested to latch on, to see what is happening. And for every click you do, they are making their money. You understand? Whether you abuse them or you commend them, they are making their money. So they come up with different versions. Is it not up to time for you to start making money? Even if it's TikTok in mining. So we say, oh, no, I'm in a space, I'm not getting anything. Because you have refused to move. Because you have decided to stay just on one spot. So let us learn to shake our body in this 2026. Shake our body, shake our brain, shake everything about us to be able to make success. He has talked about, those are things you call side hustles. You can decide to be a side hustler. You can create a YouTube for something, So let's think through and make sure we make impact this year. So once again, Mr. Lajide, I extremely want to say thank you. It was not accidental that we met, and we are grateful for what you have been able to contribute within your short time. Most of those graphic things you saw during GGCE was done by this young man who volunteered, you understand. He knows the importance, combining humility, you understand, with knowledge. And so we want to say thank you to you. To the Vice President, not again want to, South, we want to say thank you. And to our chairman who is online, who never misses any of our session, again, we want to say thank you, ma. And to all the speakers, again, we want to say thank you. So over to you, Ambassador Regina. Yeah.
Thank you, Madam President, for that illuminating insights into your own personal experience and your views, because you are a voice in the sector and you have the experience that most of us don't have. So it's always very interesting and very educative listening to you. So those that have ears, listen, make sure you get out there. Those that are like me, who tend to avoid the social media, we need to change our strategy this year and come out and be seen. I'd like to give the floor to Madam Olushola Olani. Please, let's hear your voice. Mrs. Olani, your hand is up. You can unmute yourself, please.
Okay. Hello. Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, ma'am.
Good evening.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you I want to especially thank the speaker. He has said a lot. And as he said, as much as possible, we must strive to empower ourselves and our youth to build tools and know the digital future. Specifically for women and girls. I attended a course towards the end of last year, organized by Elevate AI, and it was from Dubai, and people from all over the world attended, training us ready for Microsoft. Specifically, we were all women. I think it was deliberate because they said they discovered that women they are not many when it comes to the digital world. So as women leaders, we have that responsibility to encourage our youth. And as the president has said, they know it more than us, but at the same time, we need to counsel them. We need to put them in the right direction. I can remember when I did, I think 2 years ago, almost 2 years now, when we did a course. Almost all these things were done online with the University of British Columbia. Our president was there. It was there that we were told, don't keep quiet. Make sure that you tell your story. If you don't tell your story, nobody will tell it for you. And if you keep it to yourself, nobody will know what you are doing. So immediately they said that when I have stories, I tell it. But with caution, as we have been warned, you don't just tell stories and then it becomes problem. So one of the stories I told, I don't know how a particular brand in the UK, Gold Network, how they got it. They got across to me. They said they wanted to feature me. That was early last year. And everything was done digitally. I was featured on their website. The company is in the UK. So, and as I'm saying it, we didn't meet, but digitally we met and everything was accomplished. So I've done so many things online like that. Master class from University of Queensland, master class from so many other universities with standard certificates that I didn't even, that we only did online. So I think we should take and the world is going digital. There's nothing we can do about it. That transformation happened through when there was the COVID. It fast-tracked everything. So we cannot afford to sit back and be looking. We just have to be part of it. None of us should be left behind. Thank you so much.
And
Thank
from
you.
this year, we confer Professor Olaniyi, you understand, on human, because when it comes to self-development, you are a champion. There's hardly any class I've gone that have not looked on the list to find Olushola Olaniyi. You are a pride, you understand, to us, to women generally.
Thank
If
you.
after
Thank you.
retirement, you can drive yourself aggressively like this, how much more the younger women? Staying behind to complain. Oh, I've not gained something. What do you want to gain? Somebody to open your brain and put something, or for me to go and steal money from federal government and put it in your brain? It's not possible. What we can gain from one another, all this exchange, where you come out confidently and you can speak. Have you heard? Have you heard Emmanuel? It's because you don't know our chairperson. Have you heard her speak? She's a lawyer. Attorney General for a state before. You understand? A commissioner and attorney general. Let's start talking mining. Whether you have a degree in geology or something, you have to think twice before you talk near her. Professor Tamuna has said it all before. She said your certificates is not what puts food on the table. It's just a way of confidence boosting. What gives you a license to be successful in life is your self-development. So what self-development path have we chosen? Today, this young man has told us, do you want to be an influencer or you want to be an influential person? Make up your mind to have a digital identity. And Ambassador Regina, from today, repent. Because some of us know we don't want them to use our name. We don't want them. If they don't use your name, there will always be scammers. Even when you don't show you are not visible. Whoever wants to use your name will use it. You understand? All you have to do is fortify yourself, fortify your signature. And when they use your name, you will always be able to defend yourself. That's just the truth. This is a digital world, and we must operate the currency of digitalization, which is all the social media tools we are seeing. And every day is changing. Every day they are improving it. Every day they are asking you to update. For every update, that tells you there's a new one. And when you start posting rubbish, Chioma and Davido, you are making money for Chioma and Davido. It doesn't come to you. Somebody is gossiping about Oni of Ife and his wife, and you are posting that one. You are making money for the blogger, because look at some of the bloggers, even when they know they are writing false, because they want you to just look at it, abuse them or love them. They are making money. They are smiling every day, earning their dollars from YouTube, from whatever. But why don't you build your own digital space where if somebody is looking for something? How many times do we get letters in the office? They will say, we don't know them, but it's our digital identity as women in mining that is exposing us. So I call on every one of us on this platform today, please join us in building our digital space. That's women in mining. And while you are building it, you find out that you build your own identity. When Mrs. Olushola retired, you understand, Grace Udong introduced that to us, and she joined us. And since then, she never looked back. And in the process, she has created her own formidable identity. That is what life is all about. But when you think, oh no, I want to fold my hands, let me not support this person, because when I do it, then you are destroying yourself, because it's an open body that belongs to all of us. Together, we can build together, and then you build your own formidable identity along the path. So once again, I personally want to thank you, and I really appreciate the VP for a wonderful job done. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam President. I repent in public, and I promise that you're going to be seeing me posting things, liking, sharing, and every other thing. Maybe I'll even become a content creator. Who
Creating.
knows?
Courtesy of Emmanuel.
Yes, so honestly. I'd like to call on Dr. Onobolu. Your hand's been up. Please take the floor. This
Okay.
solution, can you put your hand down, please? Let me know that it's one less. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Dr. Onobolu, over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, dear chairperson, and the executive for organizing this webinar, and to our speaker, Mr. Emmanuel. Well done for the succinct way you have put things. Indeed, very valuable and very much on point. I just wanted to add some comments. I just returned because I'm in the water field, and that's the value I believe I add to our association. I've just come back from a water meeting in Dakar, and where a question to the persons in the room was, which voices are missing as we work towards the 2026 UN Water Conference? Which voices are missing? And I said, actually, the voices of the youth, the digitally illiterate youth. And I mentioned that oftentimes we aggregate youth, leaving behind millions of them. Many youth are actually not digitally literate. And as the mining sector, especially where artisanal mining is such a problem in the whole of West Africa, I think we must be systematic also in making that advocacy, where in terms of digital literacy, when you're talking about Microsoft, being able to use Microsoft Excel, being able to use Word, being able to actually use social media in a way that is beneficial to them economically, and positioning them from escaping from intergenerational poverty. Our youth are mainly illiterate. So I wanted to put that out there, and also say that even as we move forward in expanding our digital footprint, we need to also have sessions where our members are clear about how to improve their digital literacy, which is different from AI, and also their digital footprint, which are, I think, different components that we all should master. Thank you very much. I pass.
Thank you, Dr. Nobelu, for drawing attention to this aspect, which I think I agree with you, is generally overlooked. As you are aware, we have the G4M and the Minds to Mind, among other initiatives being pursued by women in mining. So I guess we'll just have to expand it to incorporate these youths who are there in the mining host communities. We find a way of getting them into our network and ensure that the advocacy that we conduct draws their attention and gives them the necessary vibe to learn and to desire to learn and to change. Thank you very much. So I'd like to call on Madam Candy Agu, who's one of our new members. You're welcome, Miss Candy. Nice to see you on board with us. Please have
Thank
the
you so much
floor.
for the
She just
yeah,
joined
thanks
us
so much.
last year during the GGCE in Lagos. She's
Yes,
based in Lagos.
yes. And I just joined the platform yesterday for the first time. And then it happens that today I was just checking through and I found out that something was happening. But somehow I got my wires crossed. I thought it was for tomorrow, only to just check now. Someone said, oh, the webinar is on. And I quickly checked in, but I was a bit late. I'm sorry about that. But at least from what I heard the last few speakers talk about, it was obvious we were talking about digital imprint and creating a digital presence. And when Ambassador, when you were talking, you said something about the Gold and Gemstone Conference. And I quickly, as you were talking, I went to Google it and found out that there is a website and there is an Instagram handle. And I saw that on the Instagram profile, they posted pictures from the last exhibition, the runway, the runway show and all that. But what struck me, and that's my observation, and what the comment I want to make is that the handle is not following any of its members. I think that should change, because when you follow your members, you give them credibility in the space that they operate in. That's one. And secondly, the designers that is being showcased on that on the page are not tagged. And whoever is handling our pages should also tag those designers so that they also get credit for the work that is being posted there. And it can help to also help them with sales. So I guess that's also part of creating your digital presence and, being digitally present. So that's the observation I made and I wanted to share. Thank you. I'm not very good. I'm the worst person when it comes to social media and everything, but at least the little I've picked on, I think that.
Hello.
Ambassador Regina, I think
Has she
after the
gone
meeting,
silent?
Ambassador Regina, please,
Yeah.
after today's meeting, please call her to talk to Adesua and Sip and Paint, who are in charge of the
Okay.
uh,
Social media.
social media, especially the Instagram.
I'll do that. I'd like to thank Candy for this observation. Very, very important and very relevant to today's discussions. Thank you very much for opening up and drawing our attention to this. And I'd like to assure you that this is going to be addressed immediately. You're not going to wait. We're not going to wait. We're going to do it immediately. Thank you very much. Any other person? Any other comments? In the absence of any comments, I'd like to give the floor back to Madam President, Engineer Dr. Janet Adeyemi, for her closing statements. The floor is yours, Madam. Please address us.
No, thank you. There's really nothing to add more. We've all had a robust conversation. And we want to specifically thank Mr. Emmanuel, for Olajide, for his presentation. The one that we saw you work with us as a volunteer, I knew this is a young man going places. I know this is a young man who is so determined. When you give him assignments, you understand, he wants clarity. He has questions so that when he's delivering, you hardly find anything to edit. So I really say thank you for giving us the opportunity to know you and see your skill. And we pray you'll be able to complete this series with us, because I intentionally brought somebody who can break it down for the women to understand. And today we could see from the presentation that whoever does not even have any knowledge, he lays his presentation, you understand, with motivational talks, insights, you understand, to drive down his points, which I think is very, very good. So your style of presentation is very, very good. You really showed that you are a writer, and we appreciate you. Coming to 2021, 2021 is a special year, full of hope, especially
2021,
for those of us.
2026.
2026 is a special year because of the major. I'm so excited when I look at the composition, honestly, of the board. I keep on referring to the board, where you have the composition and you trust the ability of those coming in. So here too, we have to hype up whatever we are doing to make sure when we say our lecture starts at 4, if you want to join, you join at 4. And we make sure we just go into the main thing. And for consistency this year, at the end of the day, we are discussing, and but we pray we're able to conclude it. We have one particular tertiary institution we are looking to partner with, so that if we are able to, we find out that we might be having our courses, short certificates, for some of these things, depending on the number of sessions one attend. If we are treating a particular topic, and which is what we have always done, we don't go haphazard. We explore that topic till the end to cover every major area as it affects women in a basic way, because we are mindful of the fact that we are in mining. Mining is made up of diverse people, diverse educational entry qualification. So it's not a question of you having a geo certificate or having an engineering certificate or anything. It's a mixed field. So we make sure whatever we are teaching is basic for everybody to benefit from. So again, we look forward to you to for continuous support. And for those of us who are members of Women in Mining here, may the food is set, the table is set for us. We are not paying yet, but eventually we are getting to where we will pay, because an academy is in the offing. So, but now that it is still free, maybe anything free is never valued. But maybe when we say start paying a stipend, you find people struggling to want to pay and sweating. So let's encourage one another to come. You understand? To put up these classes is a bit challenging, to get speakers. We can hear what the young man says. It's our goodwill that we are eating on. You understand, that we beg people, please come and take this, come and take that. And when we set that table and people are not coming, at times it's very frustrating. People who attend are hardly even people who are from the Women in Mining community. I think we should start reversing this in their own interest, for them to be able to grow appropriately and benefit from the lectures. So on behalf of Women in Mining, again, I want to say thank you for all partners who had been consistent, who come for every of our events and who attended today's events again. And to you, the Vice President, we want to say thank you. So Pelumi, our staff who handles this, a copper who is in law school right now, I can tell you, is on the sideline, still making sure, despite the fact that he has completed his term, still working assiduously to support Women in Mining. And to Shukra in the office, we want to say thank you to all of you for putting up this wonderful class for today. Once again, we say thank you. God be with you. Enjoy your evening. And this year, I pray will be a pleasant year for all of us in Jesus' name. Thank you. God bless you. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Good night,
Thank you.
everybody.
Bye-bye. Good night. Yeah.
Bye.